nothing's gonna go the way you want it to go. But it all depends on how you take what happens and turn it into your destiny. Everybody is gonna have a story, bittersweet. So it depends on how bad you take it. You could either be that person and be like, oh, I'm done. I gave up. I didn't do this well. I didn't do well, so I gotta give up. Or you can be that person that's to say, okay, I fucked up. How can we figure this out? What can we do to get to the next point and make this not happen?
Sacrifices for that?
Always
for what you want every day?
You gotta make sacrifices every day. That's the point. You gotta make sacrifices for family. You gotta make sacrifices for friends.
You used to sacrifices?
I'm always used to sacrifices. To be honest, I put people before I put myself. That's always. That's just
how you feel about people who like in the same field as you, but they faking what they doing. They not really putting in the work that you putting in. You feel disrespected?
I feel disrespected, but I really just laugh at them because it's like at the end of the day, it ain't gonna work out for you. And if it do work out, it ain't gonna work out for you long because it's not in your heart. If it's really in your heart, we know. We could all tell the real recognize real, and you phony niggas won't make it. That's real.
Tell them about the originality of this t-shirt you created.
So, man, I don't know about y'all.
Who is that?
That's my man AZ Faison. If you don't know who AZ Faison is, you need to do your street knowledge. But, Paid in Full. If you know about Paid in Full, you know it's probably one of the greatest hustler movies of all time. It goes back and tells the story of straight Harlem representatives. I'm from Baltimore originally. I'm not from Harlem, but where I'm from, my city feeds off of that same hustle. I'm also from Charlotte, and I know a lot of us, our Charlotte people, feed off the same hustle.
I need you to tell them something that you told me earlier that really made me realize that you knew about the culture of Harlem and the t-shirt and everything that's going on, why you did it.
Okay.
Like, tell them about the Harlem Renaissance. Tell them how it all started. Tell them about where it came from to where it's at now.
So,
give them
y'all know anything?
Look.
What's up?
This the thing. This video that we making right now, this is only about people who really do it.
Okay.
You feel me? So let them know your facts.
Say no more. Okay, so if you know anything about the Harlem Renaissance, so if you know anything about this culture, man, you know hip-hop started where? In New York. So if hip-hop started where? Hip-hop was influenced by drug dealers. And whether you want to admit it or not, we live in a world where our culture is influenced by drug dealers. It may not still be that way, but at one point it was that way. So Paid in Full for me not only spoke to the culture, it spoke to Harlem, because like I said, the culture started everywhere. From jazz started in Harlem, everything, all of Apollo. The root of our culture is either in Harlem, California. I give credit to Atlanta now, but the root of our culture is in New York. So like I said, going back to the hustlers, if it wasn't for the hustlers, we would not be here. We wouldn't be in Jordans. We wouldn't be in Air Maxes. We wouldn't be in baggy clothes. None of this stuff would happen. So I pay homage to AZ. If you know anything about Paid in Full, AZ is Boogie. If you know A Boogie, his actual character, or who he's actually based off of, is AZ Faison. You had AZ Faison, Alpo Martinez, and Rich Porter. Those are the three.
Check this out. Like, I know a little bit about that movie. No, I know a lot about that movie. I saw it plenty of times.
Yeah.
And I want you to tell me like about how his character changed, like how he went from ordinary to extraordinary.
Exactly. So
tell them about what hustling did.
It all starts.
Tell them about this. Tell them about this also, about how you can apply your hustle to a different aspect. Let them know how you hustling.
Say no more. So it all starts with, I guess, you seeing the extravagant lifestyle. I drive BMW, not trying to stunt, but you see, like, when you see things and you see people with nice things, bro, you want them. And you can either be that person to go get it the cheap way or the short way and take shortcuts, or you can be that person to put in the grind. So with me, my grind is my hustle. I could be selling drugs or I could be doing that, but no, I'm trapping t-shirts. I'm trapping a brand. Like I said, in the movie, he says he had the cheapest product and sold it at the lowest price. This is a product, this is a sample tee, so I can't really like show y'all, but the tee drops next week. I'm giving y'all champion quality at $25. So I'm basically doing what he said. I'm taking the best quality product and giving it to you at the lowest price and supplying the whole community, the culture, because I'm reminding y'all that this is where it started. We can't fail to forget that yeah, we're getting into a new era, a new decade, and all these things, but we cannot fail to forget New York is the mecca. Is the mecca of our culture. The hustle, the grind, all that is what we were inspired off of, and that's what inspires me. Like this means more to me than just a T-shirt or something fly. This means hustle. This means grind. This means go get it. This means everything I've ever wanted. I'm gonna put my all into my craft so I can get everything I want and live this extravagant lifestyle. And that's what everyone else should be doing.
I mean, people always ask me what my motivation is to get in the gym and how I started to get in the gym. And I mean, it all started when I was diagnosed with Crohn's at 15. I was really, really small in high school. I was about 75 pounds. And I was really embarrassed all the time to go anywhere, wear anything. I tried all types of things from like protein shakes, those instant breakfast things. I tried everything, and then maybe about 4 years ago I got into the gym for the first time. Didn't really take it too seriously, mostly because I didn't know what I was doing. And then I had ended up meeting somebody in college that showed me how to do things and showed me how to properly do things, and from there it just kind of clicked. A day without the gym is kind of just like a day without eating breakfast or a day without showering. Like, I really hate not being in the gym.
So it's normal to you now?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty regular. I fit it in as best as I can. Like, working 2 jobs is kind of hard to fit in the gym, but if I gotta go early in the morning, I go. If I gotta go late at night, I go.
You ever missed a workout on a day and just like felt terrible about it?
Definitely. I mean, there's been plenty of days that I've missed the gym and I'm just like, dang, why didn't I make time for it? But I mean, it happens. But
would you say it's a stress reliever?
Yeah, I mean, I get stressed out really easily. I got bad anxiety, and whenever something's going wrong, this is the first place I go. So
So back to what you were saying about how you were like 75 pounds, scared, embarrassed to go anywhere or whatever like that. Does that does that feed your motivation?
It definitely does. I mean, most of my life, I'm a short person in the first place, so there's that. But I had a lot of people telling me I was tiny, I need to eat a burger, I need to do this and that. But I mean, definitely my #1 motivator to come in here.
What would you tell those people now who try to tell you about yourself?
Look at me now. Look at me now. So, I mean,
That's what I thought to say. Now let me offer this as a rebuttal.
I think one of the hardest things that I had to do when trying to create young was probably learning how to be patient. I think that's the key. Because as a visionary, you're always trying to figure out what's next. You're always trying to figure out what new you could do, or what's something innovative you could do. How can you change what's there, or how can you introduce people to something new that they haven't really experienced. So that's really one of the challenges is, being able to keep the ideas in your head and, build on them until the right time is available. Because sometimes you might have a genius idea and, it might not be the right time and everything just falls through and, collapses. But, when you're patient, your ideas that you have, whatever it is that you're trying to do, it usually comes to you the right way and, starts to manifest in the right way when you just become, patient, take your time with it, If you really have a passion for what you want to do, it's just something you gotta learn, After a while, you're gonna get fed up. And it's just gonna be like, yo, I'm tired, I'm doing the same thing every day. But you gotta realize every single day is a building block. That's another brick you add into the foundation. And that foundation becomes your dream. It becomes your life after a while. One of the things I continue to tell people is you're not gonna make a living out of your dream if you don't treat your dream as a living. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wake up, do that shit every day. You gotta wake up and, you know, have your mindset on something, like accomplish something. Like I try and do 1 or 2 things a day. You really just gotta do things for your vision and the betterment of yourself. Don't ever try and make a quick dollar, because at the end of the day, all those quick dollars don't mean nothing. You know, quick dollars are easy to come by, you know, and they're easy to leave. You know, you gotta make sure that you're building something that, you know, people can identify with and, you know, grow with. And that's the most important part, grow with. You know, I learned that everything isn't perfect. You shouldn't try and come off as perfect. You know, that's why I tell people what the fuck I've been through and all the shit that I fucked up on. I feel like that's way more important than telling people what I've done well. You know, because that's the first thing you're gonna see. You're gonna see what I've done well, but a lot of people don't know what you fucked up on in order to get to that point.
I just feel like you can't, like I said, live by society. You have to, you know, do what makes you happy, because if not, the world will try to tear you apart. And personally, me, I can say that I just learned that, you know, God gave you what He gave you for a reason, and you just have to accept it and build on it. And if you want to be in a certain place, you have to, you know, you have to take the steps to get there. And you can't just say that you're gonna do it. You actually have to put in the work to do it. And I feel like that's very important, because we can say one thing and do another, as well as we have that negative energy that can tear us down as far as friends who don't believe in us. So like I said, at the end of the day, it's just up to you to really put in the work and say that I want to be healthy, I want to make a difference, and live for me and not for anybody else.
Fuck do you be so fresh, dawg? Why you keep your foot on these nigga neck, dawg? Cause we from the top, but we really from the bottom. Tell that it, and that's how I feel about them. Heard your intro, your last 2 mixtapes. Yeah, I hear you sneak dissing, but that lame. All that make believe rapping about, and yeah, don't play with me. You up, man? Yeah.
One thing I can say is, every day I wake up in the morning, you know, I listen to positive music, just surrounding myself with positivity. You know, you can't start off your morning with negative vibes, then it will just kind of kill your day. You know, I'm just happy to be alive, so I really use that courage to make a difference every day.
So, you ever get down on yourself, like feel like you can't, feel like you ever hit like dry spells, hit a little hump?
Sometimes, yeah, it happens to everybody, but you just gotta get out of that quick, man, like real quick, because once it takes place in the mind, it really manifests in reality. So you gotta just get out of that mindset and keep pushing forward. I try to just remember why I'm doing it and what I want out of it, and that kind of just keeps me going and pushes me forward.
Okay.
But you, like I said, you gotta keep moving forward, because when you have it in your mind, you just see the vision and you know it's gonna happen eventually. And I look up to people, you know, that I know personally, and people that's in the fitness industry, and I know that it took them time. I know that it took them years and years and years, and this is only my 2nd year. It took some people 10 years, so I just use that and look, I see where they at, and I'm coming forward, so I just gotta keep moving forward.
So you build off that, you build off other people.
Yeah.
So how important do you feel it is that you learn from those who came before you?
Very important, because how will you know unless you look for somebody that's already did it, somebody that's already successful in it? That's what I look for. You know, I try to study what they do, not really mimic, but just get ideas from and kind of, you know, look to them on how they did it, what did they do, what were the steps, how did they make this happen, so I can move forward as well.
How do you continue to find inspiration?
Really, every time I work out, I get inspired. It's just me personally. When I work out, I just look at what I'm doing and how I can change other people's lives. Because I know some of the stuff that I do personally people can't do it. And it's not that they're not able to do it, it's just that they don't have the athleticism to do it, and I want to help them do that. So whenever I'm working out, whenever I'm, done working out and I'm in the mirror flexing, it motivates me to keep pushing forward. Whenever I post stuff and people comment, people message me, asking for help and advice, it just keeps me going.
How deep does your passion for training run within you?
It runs real deep, man. I just love to help people, and fitness is my passion, so if I can help people in the same area as my passion, it really just helps. It really motivates me.
What about baby steps? How you feel like about baby steps? Are they important? Are they critical?
Yeah, it's critical because, especially starting off, you don't want to just take off. You don't want to just jump too early before you really get the experience and get, know what you're doing. So it's really important to take baby steps and really analyze every detail, because I'm still working right now.
So you feel like you have room for improvement?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, everybody does.
Okay, so I guess you've been on a journey. You've been on a journey.
Yeah.
It ain't no I guess. You've been on a journey, and I want you to tell them some things that you learned on the journey, like where you messed up, where you learned.
A couple things I learned, like I said before, patience. You got to be patient. It's not all just gonna happen at one time, because I had that kind of jumping in. I kind of had that idea, like, yeah, I'm gonna get this gonna happen, this gonna that, but it's like it ain't like that, man. You just gotta be patient, step by step, plan everything out. And another thing too, focus. You gotta maintain your focus. That's the main key, really, because even in times where your mind get dabbled, because I'm still in school, I'm trying to work and this and that, I still gotta focus on what it is that I see, the vision that I have, and what I'm trying to do.
How you feel about when you hear the term trust the process?
Trust the process. It's all in the name. You gotta trust it, man. It's a journey. Life is a journey. This fitness stuff is a journey, and you just gotta trust the process. Everything happens for a reason, and everything is in alignment. If you're really walking in alignment, everything's gonna happen. The process is just gonna come on.
Vision and trust the process. Shout out to my boy KJ for the line. It's not just a line, it's a movement. It's all about achieving your dreams. Your biggest enemy in life is yourself. Sometimes life gonna throw a lot of things at you, but you can't let it deter you. You might wake up some days and just not feeling like doing anything, but that's the days that are most important that you need to go get it. You gotta cut off all that half-assing. Don't be content with your life. Don't be one of those people who just wake up and just be satisfied and just go along with the day. Make things happen. What are you doing that's better in yourself? What are you doing today that you didn't do yesterday?